there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. GM Potter here. Welcome to my channel where I talk about books and bookish things. I upload on Thursdays and Tuesdays, and today I have one of my anticipated reads of 2025, and that is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. Let's get into it. Okay, so coming in hot with the blurb, we have Sybil Delling has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. Like the other foundling girls who traded a decade of service for a home in the great cathedral, Sybil is a diviner. She sleeps and dreams of 7 unearthly figures known as the Omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and the lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom, windswept moors, to learn their futures or by her dreams. But just as she and her sister diviners near the end of their service, a mysterious night arrives at the cathedral, and Sybil dreams of a moth, the death omen. Then, one by one, the diviners begin to vanish. To find them, Sybil enlists the knight's help, but the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. The 7 omens are not merely figures that visit her wakeless mind. They are real, ancient, sorcerous, and cunning. Sybil must face each of them to recover the lost diviners, and the knight, with whom she has been inextricably entangled, may be one of them. Oh my goodness, this book. So this book, I saw, I think it was an Instagram reel that they're like, most anticipated Romantasy books. And they like held up their hand and they had the little picture of the cover, which is The Night and the Moth. This book is not, I wouldn't say it's a romantasy so much, because romantasy is a portmanteau of romance and fantasy. And this book, I would say, is not a romance because of the ending. We don't get a romance novel ending. So I would say because of that, it is not a romance novel. Additionally, in a romance novel, the character's motivation is to find that other person and to be with that other person. And that is a motivation. In this book, that's not her main motivation. That's not his main motivation. It's just something that happens. And they're like, I can't fight this anymore. Let's do the do. But that's not something that's at the forefront of either of their minds. Like, until something horrible happens and she can't do the thing that's at the forefront of her mind, and she's like, okay, what do now? I would say that it's not truly a romantasy. I would say that this is more of a dark fantasy, with a romance element to it, but I would not say that this is a romance novel or a romantasy. This book is gothic. It's dark. It's ethereal. The locations, the landscape is a character in and of itself. It's perfect Gothic literature. I love neo-Gothic literature. It is so good. This one is a book for adults. It is an adult book. It is not a YA book. I've heard people talking about, I thought this was YA. It's not appropriate for children. I'm like, it's not a YA book. It's a grown-up book. Not every fantasy book is for children. Just so you know. The first impression I had for this was the flowery prose. I'm like, is this meant to feel old-timey? It took me about 30 pages to settle into the book. And to be like, okay, I'm in it now. That it's told like this because that's the setting we're in. That's where we are for a level of education. That the prose and the syntax is part of the world building. Which, once I got into it, it took me a while to get into it, because the one I read right before this was Gods of Jade and Shadow, which has a very different style of prose and syntax. So it was a little different. This book is first-person POV from Six, or Sybil Delling. She goes by Six because she is the 6th diviner. They each give up their name and take on a number, and that's who they are. So 6 is a diviner. She is the favorite of the abbess. She longs for her freedom. She's strong. She has a strong sense of duty. She's not sure how old she is because she doesn't remember anything before coming to the abbey on the tour. And so she's not entirely sure how old she is. She thinks she's about the same age as our mysterious knight named Rory. He's 26. He's arrogant. He has certain abilities, maybe? I don't want to get into that because that might be a spoiler. We have the the bat-winged gargoyle who calls everybody Bartholomew, and I'm sorry, I'm going to cry thinking about this creature. He was my favorite character of the book. He's a side character. He mixes up sayings and cliches, and he's oddly wise and prescient, and he needs his sleep. He sleeps like a birdcage. Like, he goes to sleep and you drape a blanket over his head like a birdcage. And he's just magical and wonderful, and he's like a cat, but he's made of stone. And then we have Benji, who is the boy king. He's weirdly flirty with Six, calls Six my diviner. He's 17. He's the youngest character. And then we have Maud, who is a knight. She is not a lady knight. She is a full-on knight. She's never called a lady knight. She's just a knight. And it was giving Quest for Camelot realness. I don't know if you remember that movie. It was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I love the Arthurian legends, and Quest for Camelot was absolutely brilliant. It has a female character that wants to be a knight when she grows up, and they're like, can't, you're a girl. And she's like, I'll prove you wrong. It's very Kit Kitteridge, American Girl, rah-rah 90s girl power. But Maud was serving up like a real grown-up version of that. And I loved Maud. Maud was great. She's 41 and she's still a knight. And I'm like, good for her. Good for her. This book has an absolutely brilliant quote. I put on, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted, this book goes hard along with the quote. It sounds awful when I say it out loud. True things often do. Part of why this is a slow burn, if we're going to say it's a romance, it's a slow burn because it's 385 pages, and it's on page 303 when we finally get a kiss between the characters. It's enemies to friends to lovers if it is a romance book. I maintain that it's not. On page 358, I started to cry, and I mean full on, like, water damaged a couple pages in my book because the tears were coming. Because this book was just heartbreaking in places. To the faithless, a god is a monster, and I am certainly a god, is one of the lines from the book. And the ending, like, one of my friends on Facebook, like, I posted this on Instagram, and when I post to Instagram, it's automatically posts to my Facebook page and spreads. And one of my friends on Facebook, someone I used to work with, was like, yeah, I just finished this book, and I just stared into space for 10 minutes after I finished it because I didn't know what to do with my life. And I'm like, okay, cool. I gave it a thumbs up emoji, thumbs up reaction, or maybe a heart reaction. And I'm like, just finished the book. I felt physically ill. I've been crying since the penultimate chapter. And she's like, yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm like, 5 of 5 stars. This book is 5 of 5 stars. It's a 2 on the spice rating, 2 of 5 chili peppers. It's not so spicy, but it's definitely not for children. There are a couple scenes that, while there is no intercourse, it's very hot and heavy in the yearning department without any sexual acts going on. Like, Rachel Gillig knows what she is doing. This is the first book in the Stonewater Kingdom series. I don't know how many books there are going to be, but there's at least one more because this book ends on a hell of a cliffhanger. And this book, she's got another series out called The Shepherd King that starts with One Dark Window, which I will have to figure out where to get a copy of it and read it because I want more of this author. That one is also tagged as being a fantasy, romance, romantasy, gothic. That one is tagged as young adult, not adult. So we will see. But then again, if you were here when ACOTAR was very first released and very first marketed, they tried to lean into the YA part of it when it is fully for grown-ups. So, like, sometimes I feel like publishers don't know what they're talking about when they give out the age groups. So, The Knight and the Moth, utterly fantastic. 5 of 5 stars, 2 of 5 chili peppers. Have you read it? Is this one of the books you've been looking forward to? Are you one of the handful of people that didn't like it? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What are some books that you are waiting with bated breath for? Like, what are your most anticipated reads? And if you've read them already, how did they hold up to your expectations? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.